Hello, my bookish bays and fantasy fays. I'm Peyton. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm using a microphone. I hope you guys can hear me through it. Um, Today we're going to be going over Omega verses. So today we're just going to go over what Omega verse is, the terminology, what my top Omega verses are. I'm going to give you examples, and we're going to talk about authors who are known for their Omega verses, um, and yeah, things like that. So, first off, Omega verses. They are basically every romance book, but with different terminology. So, for instance, we have Not Her Goal and A Pack for Autumn. These are Omega verses, but they are totally different storylines. So, for instance, this one is a sports romance. However, all the characters are alpha, beta, or omega. For those who understand what those are, you probably heard them from uh, watching or reading werewolf stories. Um, or if you guys have ever been to a college, the fraternities, Omega, Beta, Osea, you know, uh, that kind of thing. But in this time, we have uh, it usually the story usually surrounds one Omega trying to find her pack or his pack, because an Omega is the bottom of the food chain, but in my opinion, is top of the food chain. And can either be male or female. And is usually our main character in an Omega verse. And their story can follow any other type of story. They can be a mafia story, it could be a sports romance, it could be a murder romance, it could be a stalker romance. Their stories can follow any type of trope, just with different terminology. Um, and so I know that a lot of you are like, I don't like Omega verses because they talk about knots and mating and all this stuff. But isn't that what you guys are reading already? Think about it. You're reading about other tropes that initially are the same thing. A girl and a guy fighting each other, or a girl fighting guys, or a guy fighting guys, or vice versa. And basically having romance throughout the book. This is the same thing. So, but like I said again, with different terminology. And Omegaverse terminology, like I said, goes Omega, Beta, Alpha. Think about it as if everyone in the story has an inner wolf, or in technical terms, have some sort of animal within. And because of that, they have super senses, and they get to get a sub-gender when they turn a certain age, because that's when their inner beast, in this case, awakens. And that's what determines their ranking in life. Everyone knows what an alpha is. An alpha is top of the pack. They're stronger, faster. They have better senses than the rest. They're top dog. And then there's betas, the middle men and women. They are basically like humans, except for they have better hearing, smell, and they're a bit stronger than the average human. Then, like, again, omegas, I've already went through this. Omegas are the underdogs. They're the bottom of the pack, but they mean more. They are essential. Um, they are the, and I hate this term, but they are the baby makers. They are the glue of the pack. They are what every alpha and beta are trying to find. And I'm going to go over the terminology that is brought up with every Omegaverse um, and have had negative impact on that role. So, for instance, sit match. Sit match terminology is basically saying what fated mates are. Hey, you're compatible with me, I'm compatible with you, and the universe has brought us together, basically. And that's in almost every fantasy romance that I have ever read. Um, so it's not that different. Um, the only difference is when they say scent match, they mean like their scent glands. Can, uh, are, their scent coming off their scent glands are a match to each other's in a way that others are not. Nesting. Um, so is a terminology that I've learned is used both in actual everyday saying for mothers. They nest getting ready for their babies, but in this case, when it comes to the Omegaverse stories, nesting is how the Omega is putting together a safe space for them to feel comfortable and to feel vulnerable in and to have their heats, and I'll go over heats in a little bit, and have their babies in. Um, so I find that that is also not that different from actual people and other species in real life. All right, heats. Heats is a term for an omega's time of month where they do nothing but want to have children, or their body get ready for breeding. And we as humans aren't that different. For women, there is a cycle period during our periods where we are getting ready to have children, and we get extra feisty in the bedroom. 1 second, my dog. Piper, that is enough. 1 second. Piper, Mama. Piper. Doesn't it? I'm I am videoing right now. Enough. Hey, don't talk back to me. Anyway, where was I? Rets. Rets are basically this same terminology for alphas. They have a period, not so much every month, but every so often, where their body is ready to have children. And now this is a term more for where you find werewolves, I guess. It's not in an everyday outside the story kind of thing. And then we have nodding, the dreaded word that everyone associates with Omegaverses. And basically, it's just a naughty word used for describing the males when it comes to their dicks and how they connect with their female. Some people find it, ooh la la. Other people find it gross. And everything I'm saying to you today is all factual opinion. Hold on 1 second. You do not have to listen to me at all. And like I said, it's just my opinion, people, with a little bit of facts. Alright, so I'm going to show you some of the books I have physically from my shelves, and then I'm going to list over here some of my favorites. They're not going to be in order, and then from my favorites and describing what they are, I'm going to take you through some of the authors that are known for their Omega verses. So if you find that you're interested in reading one, you know where to start. And I'm sorry for all the dinging and growling, and there's a lot going on around me. Hopefully you won't be able to hear it because I have my mic, but if the mic is not working and you just hear me like this, that's fine too. Alright, so I'm going to put handy dandy notebook down. And I'm going to, so here are some off my shelf. I always showed you two, but we have these ones, and then we have these ones. Also, if you ever want to understand their terminology better, almost every Omegaverse book that I have read has their terminology either in the front of the book or in the back of the book to help you understand what you're reading better. And like I said, every Omegaverse can be a trope that you like. So if you're looking for a trope in particular and then want to see if there's an Omegaverse version of it, most likely there is. A lot of Omegaverses for me has been on my Kindle or on Audible. So think about that. And I find that Omegaverses are better if you listen to them. Just again, my opinion, I like listening more than I like to, face down in a book. But most of the time I do both. Alright, so we're going to ignore all the dinging because I told people not to be on my phone. First off is Not My Damn Omega. This story is about twin sisters. One sister is this awesome actress, model, living in the glam life, and the other one is a home body artist, and their mother doesn't let them really be themselves. She takes over their life, basically. And at an event, she finds her fated mate, or her scent match. And now him and his pack are trying everything they can do to win this sister over. Very interesting. I loved it very much. I gave this book a 5-star review. I constantly read it when I have nothing else to read. Alright, the next one is Waiting on the One. This one is actually this book here. I'm going to fucking drown my phone. And it is about a blind man and a man who helps people like him and others with service dogs. I think I talked about it a little bit in my favorite romance video, if you look back. but I rated that one a 4.7 stars. Then we have Cloud and Dreams. This one is actually very close to my heart. And it actually is a part one and two. I think the second one is Petals and something. But it follows a woman who has a heart condition, and because of this, she's always been closed off to the world, and they don't let her sign up in registries to find her fated mates. But it turns out her fated mates are actually friends of her brothers, and she finds them that way. And it's so romantic, it's so cute. I rated the duet 5 stars because it was very close to me, because I also have a heart condition. And I promise sooner or later I will do a video about that. You guys will not be left in the dark anymore. Alright. And then we have Not My Sin. This one is actually a human trafficking mafia underworld romance, true scent match story. It was one of the best ones I've read, and I also rated it 5 stars. It was amazing. I really fell in love with the characters. There were some characters I wanted to beat up, but where there's true emotion, there is a good book. Then, of course, another one that I have right here, A Pack for Autumn. This one is a nice, cozy fall book. If you just want something nice to read, I personally ranked it 3.7. And then we have the Starbrook City Omegaverse series, and that is actually, oh my goodness, the series. I don't think I have that series in my file. Anyway, it's take a group of friends who are trying to find their packs, and each friend has a story of their own, and it's wonderful. Another story that follows in a different kind of trope is, I actually have it right here. Forbidden 1 and 2. This one is, the government has failed the people and has taken all the Omegas and has basically tortured them because of jealous betas. And now they're trying to fix their mistakes. And we have rogue Omegas, and it's a lot of fighting against government, basically. It's really cool. I enjoyed it. I rated it a 4.8. Would have been higher, but there were some things I did not agree with. But yeah. And then we have Not Picking Mine, Omegaverse. That one was very fun. That one is a nice hockey romance. And again, it's an Omegaverse version of a hockey romance I found hilarious. That one is a 3.6. And then another one that kind of drifts off in a different kind of way is Andorra Sector. And this story is kind of like, you've done me wrong, so I get your daughter. It's arranged marriage to your fated mate kind of thing. It's interesting. You would have to read it for yourself. This one broke my heart a lot, and I had to rate it 4 stars even because of all the tearjerkers it gave me. And yeah, so those are all the Omega verses that I enjoyed, and I will keep finding more that I like, and I'll show them to you in other videos if I can. And if you have ones that I haven't listed and this one that you think that I would be interested in, comment them down below. I'll take a look. Alright, now we move on to the authors. So, we have Sinclair. We have Harper Wilde. Ari Wright. Jen Ballard. Elena Lee. Jessica W. Emilia Emerson. No more distractions, guys. I'm so sorry about that. We have Roy Miles, Devin Sinclair, Elizabeth Knight, and yeah, so those are the ones I mainly know of. So a question I got before creating this video is, how is Simp Match different from Fated Mates? So there's not really a difference other than what the terminology is. Simp matched means that they're fated together based off their scents, off their scent glands. Whereas fated mates just know that they're supposed to be together. And that's either from some sort of tattoo or marking or some sort of something that symbolizes that. And when we go through an Omegaverse, they do markings, which is not really that different from what true mates do. So usually when we talk about true mates books, fantasy books, they have, like I said, some sort of marking, whether that's tattoos, their eye color changes, it's something to do with their wings. It's something. But in this case, they have to mark each other with bites to symbolize that they're each other's, and leaving behind a crescent moon mark, and a little bit of their scent behind, which is also part of scenting each other, rubbing their scent glands against one another's. So, yeah. And so that's why I put Omega verses with fated mates, because in reality they're not all that different, in my opinion. And I would like for everyone on my channel to try something new. You don't have to, but if you like to take that leap and try one of the books I've shown you, or comment down below any of the books that you recommend for me, that would be awesome. And I hope to see you guys again. Bye.